What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training. And today we're going to be breaking down two of the most creative routes that you guys can run, okay? So now I hope this video helps you guys out. We're going to be walking you through these two situations on the goal line here and then in the middle of the field. That will get you a ton of separation. And also, fellas, what we were thinking about doing is we were thinking about adding a weekly kind of Q&A show where we have a guest on, hopefully an NFL player, NFL coach, college player, college coach, and just kind of pick their brain, ask them some questions about training techniques, things that they do in the offseason, maybe during the season. But if you guys think that's a good idea, you would like to see content like that, don't hesitate to leave that in the comments section below. If you want to see videos like that. We're not going to do it if you guys don't want to see it. You know what I mean? So if you guys would like to see something like that, don't hesitate to leave any feedback our way. So first route is going to be a comeback route with a peek back technique off of kind of I would consider this like a walk release, but we're going to mainly focus on top of the route. So let's watch it full speed. So this receiver does a great job selling vertical with those eyes, snapping the hips off, and then accelerating back to the ball. So this is a creative route because anytime that you're on the goal line, right, as a receiver, especially an outside receiver, we are always a threat of what? Always a threat of that goal line fade, where that quarterback's going to catch the ball, throw it to the back corner, and that's 100% of the time what we want to make that DB think, right? So off the line, when I have an inside shade guy, the mistake that a lot of wide receivers make in this situation is, and they have no creativity behind this route, is that they'll just run to the outside. They'll just run to the outside. Okay, give me the fade. I'm bigger. I'm more athletic than this guy. I can make a play. But you got to make sure that we work him off the line. I want to threaten him where he doesn't want me to go, which is going to be to this slant. So that's what that receiver does. Closes the distance, gets him to backpedal, and now it's that foot race to the back corner. Now, these eyes going back, this is the creativity part of it. If you're a receiver looking for like that next step that you want to take with your route running, you want to improve your breaks, you want to be able to get more separation, you want to self-fade more, this is a great way to do it by working this peek back. I can do a peek back technique on any route that involves me stopping and putting the brakes on, or any kind of outside braking route. So I could do a peek back and run a corner route, an out route, a comeback route, a stop route. Because when I peek back like this, I can still self-fade. Now, the mistake that a lot of people make when they throw this peek back is that their chest pops up and their stride shortens. Because they're so concerned with selling with their eyes, they forgot that you need to sell with your speed and you need to actually sell with your body language, number one. So when you peek back, it is not a look back. It is a glance over the right shoulder or the inside shoulder. It is a glance so I can still pump my arms. I still keep full stride and I still keep full speed. That's how you sell vertical with that peek back technique. Now, when I'm peeking back, I'm obviously selling fade. So if I'm going to run this comeback, I got to make sure I got to have that violent change of direction. I got to drop my hips. I got to snap down. And now when I get to this position right here, this is the icing on the cake when it's a comeback in the red zone. That quarterback is putting that thing to a spot, probably bottom pylon, right? So when he's putting that to the bottom pylon in this position after I drop my hips, it is a freaking race. That is how my mindset needs to be. My mindset needs to be, I'm accelerating, I am winning the race back to that ball, and I'm making this play before that DB has any time to react to it. That is a textbook route right there, throwing that peek back technique, attack and leverage off the line. It's one of the most creative routes that you guys can run on that goal line. You see guys like Stephon Diggs work this a lot. Devontae Adams will throw a peek back. Keenan Allen, especially, some of the best route runners in the game. Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. Great job bursting out, peeking back with those eyes, snapping it off, and then accelerating back to that bottom pylon. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about a creative way to run a dig route versus inside shade press. But before we get into that, fellas, I want to talk to you guys about a great opportunity we are having this offseason. We are traveling out to 9 different cities across the United States for 2-day-long quarterback and wide receiver training camps. Okay, so we're going to be starting off the tour next weekend in Phoenix, Arizona. Then we're coming out to Houston, Texas, which was actually postponed due to weather. So we're coming back to Houston March 5th and 6th. Then we're going out to Newark, New Jersey. That camp is almost completely sold out, fellas. We only have about 8 spots remaining. And then we're going to Atlanta, Georgia, Columbus, Ohio, Chicago, Illinois, Dallas, Texas, Nashville, Tennessee, and Los Angeles, California. So if you guys are local to one of those 9 cities or want to travel out, fellas, we would absolutely love to have you out. Now, again, I make this clear. Spots are limited to only 10 to 12 guys per position group, okay, per age group, because we're splitting the camp up into youth and high school sections. Now, the reason why we're doing that is because we actually want to coach you guys. So many camps do it incorrectly. They have so many kids out there. They're trying to put on the big show, and they don't actually coach people. right? We're there to coach you. We're there to help you get better. This is not an exposure camp. This is a camp to help your skills improve. This is training, and training requires teaching. And you cannot teach a group of 40 kids in a slotted time. That's why we're limiting spots. So if you guys want to be one of those spots, you guys want to come out in your quarterback or wide receiver and want to get some work against DBs, we'll have DBs out there for one-on-ones, half-line concepts. Check out that very first link in the description below, fellas. We'd absolutely love to have you out to one of our 9 off-season QB and wide receiver training camps. Let's get back to this video. So now, next route we're looking at here is a dig route. This is extremely creative because this receiver does a great job of attacking the blind spot and setting up a DB. So his thought process here is he's going to work this DB inside, take the outside release, work back to the it's extremely creative. I can't even break it down without showing you. So he takes the outside release, works back to the inside, then angles the stem back to that blind spot. This is such a creative way of doing things because it's a way of attacking a DB's blind spot and making him think we are going vertical. So off the line, right, he sets him up to the inside, right? Sets him up with this little foot fire inside because the DB is inside shade. So I have an inside shade DB. I know if I have to run an inside breaking route, I probably won't be able to just attack his leverage, get him to backpedal and take the inside release. Not realistic against a disciplined guy. So I got to attack him, take what he gives me, which is the outside release. So that's what he does here. And then he gives this kind of pressure step back to the inside where he takes almost a diamond release, I guess, if you will, and works his stem back to the inside. So that's going to force that DB to flip out of there. And then what does that give up? That gives up another blind spot. So when he angles his stem back to the outside, he is solely operating where this DB cannot see him. So this is a great way for you guys to get separation on a dig route is you make it look the same. Because if you had an inside shade guy, right, and you had to run a slant route and there was like some gap between you, what do you think you would do? You'd attack his leverage, then you'd maybe work to the outside for 3 steps, get him to flip his hips, and then I break back, then I would break back on a slant, right? I would break this thing off right here and I got him on the slant. So now we're obviously trying to make it look like I'm going fade. I'm trying to burst off of that. I force the speed turn. He's thinking an inside breaking route. I work back to the blind spot again, and I'm able to create separation on this dig. That is an extremely advanced way of running a dig route. But the way to break it down, completely simple. Make it look like a slant route. Make it look like you're attacking his leverage, hitting him with a diamond. I break this thing off, take the inside. Again, this won't take too long, fellas, if I am fast with my movements. But if I'm doing like a hesitation hop, like sliding to the outside, making these real long, exaggerated cuts, then it takes too long. We have to be fast and we have to be efficient with my movement in this specific case. Let's watch the thing again. So this was the second most creative route I feel that you could run is when you attack that blind spot multiple times throughout a route, especially on this dig route. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. We'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. I always appreciate the feedback, and it's always great to hear from you guys as usual. And again, fellas, if you would like to come out to one of our 9 off-season camps in Phoenix, Houston, Newark, Atlanta, Columbus, Chicago, Dallas, Nashville, and Los Angeles, check out that very first link in the description below. We'd love to have you out. I'll see you guys next time.